Hey guys, join me in the closet. It's 7 minutes in heaven.
Welcome, everybody. This is 7 Minutes in Heaven. This is our sports episode where we're going to talk about sports for like 7 minutes. Definitely a little bit longer. We have a fantastic episode. Like, it's March, so get excited. March Madness is here.
Whoop, whoop.
Do it again, Chris. That was beautiful. All right, we're done.
That's all he wanted.
We got both the boys here, Chris and Chase. Say what's up. Chase.
What up now? Oh,
that wasn't Chase. Yo!
pocket.
Chase sporting his Dolphins polo. Said he's had it for years. Never seen him wear it.
Had it for years.
How come you don't wear a polo? You look good in that.
I wear it a decent amount. Maybe you just don't see me enough.
He hates it. He hates it totally.
Maybe you just don't see me enough.
Chris sporting his St. Patrick's green ex-softball team.
Former jersey. What up, pitches? What a do's? Whatever.
Whatever you want to call it.
However you prefer. I've also got the green sunglasses on, so we're feeling it.
Yeah, and I got my white or my
green
USA shirt on because I have a green screen behind me. So if I put on green, I'm gonna turn green. But I'm wearing my green thong tonight, so don't judge.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
Yep.
Only for the special occasions, as he busts
Maybe
out
you'll
the
show
green
that
thong.
on Twitch later.
Maybe. Hey, we'll see.
They could be so lucky. They could only be so lucky.
Let's get started with our opening item though.
Excuse me, do you know how much a polar bear weighs?
No, how much?
Enough to break the ice. Hi, Fred Searing. How are you?
How are you?
Hello, Fred Searing.
How you doing?
Opening item from our boy Christopher Howcroft. He's right here live in the studio. Top 10 overrated quarterbacks in 2000, according to ChatGPT.
According to
Oh, ChatGPT.
they got it. I mean, I was just basically going to fire off the list.
Yeah, there you go.
And just be like, between these two, who's more overrated?
Okay, I like it.
All right.
Is this overrated like going into the NFL or they're like... Because I glanced at the list and I don't know
Folks,
if you're looking at their... Hold on. If you're looking at their NFL...
If this is your first episode, folks, this is what we call chasing the question.
He is all about chasing these questions.
It's got to be coming from college because looking at the list, almost none of these guys what I call overrated because they are properly rated as trash NFL players. So, it's got to be coming from college is the only thing I can think.
Chase, I'll let you interpret that any way you
Yeah, I'm going to take it
that.
going from college before they ever played an NFL snap, what they were thought of to what they became.
Love it. Locked in. Here you go. First matchup. Tim Tebow and Mark Sanchez. Who's more overrated?
Ooh, that's tough.
They're both bad, like NFL career-wise, and I know Mark Sanchez was drafted higher than Tim Tebow, but Mark Sanchez at least had a couple decent seasons. Tim Tebow didn't have any good season in the NFL. He had that one game where he threw for 100 yards on that one 80-yard touchdown pass in the playoffs, and then that was it. So I'd say Tim Tebow is more overrated for a first-round pick to do absolutely nothing at all.
Chase locks in Tebow. Kev?
Also, fuck the Gators.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. That's more, yeah.
Fuck the Jets, too.
I mean, look at what Tebow did in college. You know, he was, some say one of the greatest college players ever.
Again, overrated.
And then went to the NFL, and he didn't completely bomb, but pretty much bombed.
He did absolutely completely bomb.
He had that one playoff win, which everybody. I mean, hey,
and I feel like even in that one playoff win, he only threw for 120 yards. He just had that one 80-yard touchdown pass.
We will hear about that shit for the rest of our lives.
Forever.
So,
I think he was overrated as a college player, personally.
There you go. Tebow's across the board. We all say Tebow. The next one is Jay Cutler and Colin Kaepernick.
Jay Cutler had some good years, man. I know Kevin hates the Bears and whatnot. So did Colin Kaepernick.
I loved
had some
Jay
good
Cutler
years,
at
too.
quarterback for the Bears. It was one of my favorite things in the world.
That
I
was
wish
tough,
he'd come
man.
back.
Looking at the list, these are two of the actual better players on this list in terms of they had at least a couple good seasons. Kaepernick had a good run there.
Nah, hey, Jay Cutler is the more overrated.
agree with
Colin
that.
Kaepernick is fucking. That motherfucker ran for like 250 yards against the Packers in the playoffs. So I ain't talking no shit about him. He used to own us, bro. He used to own the Packers. So yeah, it's definitely Jay Cutler for me.
I would agree with that.
Jay Cutler's down the board. Then we've got Rex Grossman against Sam Bradford.
I mean, Bradford had a good year or two. He just couldn't stay healthy, man. That dude just fucking walking out of the house broke his ankle. So
Ow, my ankle.
I don't know if that's overrated or just like injury prone, or is that part of overrated? I don't know. Also, Rex Grossman, I don't remember being a very high pick, or like even much being expected of him in the NFL. So I don't know how he could necessarily be overrated. So I'll go with Sam Bradford. He's the number 1 overall pick. People thought he was going to be like a star, and instead he sneezes and he's out for the season. So
Sneeze cost him his career.
I'm seeing a trend here with all these fucking Gators. So fuck Rex Grossman, fuck the Bears.
that's fair.
Sam Bradford had a couple of good years, but like you said,
He did.
Grossman's trash. So
Fucking
He was just
trash.
not a good. I don't remember anything being expected of him, though. That's the thing.
It's also true.
When you say overrated.
yeah. Well, I mean, world.
The
Yeah.
world, of course, the
Okay.
world. Then next you have Matt Castle against big game Blake Bortles himself.
Blake Bortles all day. Matt Castle was like a 6th-round pick. The fact that he even had some decent years was pretty ridiculous.
I can't think. Matt Castle, there was zero expectations.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you can't be overrated if you're not expected to do anything. Blake
And
Bortles,
he still had some pretty good seasons.
was Blake Bortles on that team where they claimed the national championship?
It's a
I
good
think
question.
so.
Couldn't
I
tell
think
you.
So.
Yeah.
Wait.
And he was on that team with
Was he?
Miles Jack wasn't down, right?
Well, he
the quarterback
wasn't.
that
That's
year.
a fucking given. He wasn't down.
But I'm saying that was Blake
Well,
Bortles.
correct.
claims.
That was Blake Bortles. No, he wasn't.
Was that his
claims.
best year, you would say?
Yeah.
I mean, Blake Bortles had, a good year or two, maybe 3, but he was a 1st-round pick, and he flamed out early, whereas Matt Castle, nothing was expected of that guy.
Zero.
And I believe he made at least 1 Pro Bowl. I could be wrong, but
You're wrong.
the fact that he was even a starting quarterback for a game, he already exceeded
I don't know.
expectations. So
Big game Blake.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up, Blake? Piss. Do you remember that interview?
no.
No.
But somebody interviewed him. It's like some girl was interviewing him. She's like, "All right, Blake, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?" He's like, piss.
It's
And then,
valid.
like,
That's what I
and then
do,
she's
too.
like, "What would you do if you weren't playing football?" He's like, "Oh, I wasn't playing football. Probably working construction, ripping cigs." I was like, "Oh my god, this is
Bro, I totally forgot this guy was 3rd overall. What?
oh yeah."
Fuck? That's wild.
I was on a
I mean,
cruise
he had
and was
talent. He
like, "Oh
was a
yeah, I was
talented
hyped
guy.
at the moment."
Well,
BGB, and then the last one is Andy Dalton and Brock Osweiler.
I mean, Dalton had some good years. He really did.
man, Brock Osweiler was my Madden quarterback that I could get for cheap. 'Cause he had 97 throw power back then, but accuracy was shit.
Brock's more overrated. I don't think. Yeah, definitely Brock. Dalton had good years, like a decent amount of them.
Good NFL years?
Yes, man. Those Cincy teams with him and AJ Green.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He had like a 7-year run where they made the playoffs
Yeah,
4 or 5 times.
Oh, I
and,
do.
Yeah.
You're right. And he
There you
just
have
kind
it.
of fell off, right?
Yeah, and they never could win a playoff game. They
I
would
mean,
go
this dude-
Playoffs.
This
9
dude
and
threw
7
for
and
4,000 yards, 1, 2, almost
Wait
3
just a
times.
minute.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
There you have it.
Made the Pro Bowl 3 times.
Yeah, that's solid, man.
There you have it. Overrated quarterbacks.
What do you think? What do you think his playoff record is,
1-5.
Chris?
1 and 2.
0-4. 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna get it done.
That
in the
ain't
playoffs,
gonna
man.
cut it. That ain't gonna cut it.
You ain't gonna get it done there.
Your old Andy. But what did we go? Brock, right?
Yeah,
I believe Brock was the overwhelming.
because he was like a second-round pick, wasn't he? He did
Yeah, I think
No
pretty
chance
much
I could tell you
nothing.
that.
They don't call him Brock Osweiler for nothing.
You just said his name. You just literally
shit.
just said his name there. You didn't do anything there.
All right, so there we go. There's your overrated quarterbacks, folks. Which one do you think is the most overrated? Let us know
All the times.
by commenting. If you're listening on Spotify right now, comment in your Spotify app.
Say comment one more
Crazy
time and really
because
drag it out.
I really kind of dug deep a little bit on Spotify. If you guys aren't following us on Spotify, just hit the little heart to follow. I don't even know if we can be friends. If you're just realizing that, it kind of puts us at the top of your shit, so you don't
does. Yep.
you don't have to search for us anymore. So
We'll
don't
just
do
be
that.
right there.
So follow us and then leave a comment right now saying who you think the most overrated quarterback is out of that group there.
It's Tim Tebow.
Moving right along, we have the Seminoles up next, and I'm gonna play just a brief intro.
It's quick.
Actually, we can let it run, right? Because it's
SEC, Florida State, your team, your heartbeat. We some dogs, we ain't no puppies.
Da-na-na.
I know we say it all the time, but we really gotta get something better than that. I just feel like it doesn't do our university justice.
You don't think so?
I mean, what do you think?
You mean that intro?
Yeah, the intro.
I mean, I do love hearing Jameis. That team
Honesty is the best policy.
That team is one of my favorite all-time FSU teams, if not my favorite, just because
Well,
of
we
like.
can find another clip.
I
mean,
gotcha.
Is it just it doesn't get you fired up as much when
No,
you just
it's
hear
just
like
the fact that from here until the end of time, I will hear him say SEC.
That's true. So when it just starts, you hear SEC and you're like, oh.
What did he really say?
ACC.
He says ACC.
Folks, we're gonna play again. You tell me.
We're gonna run this back.
We're gonna run this back real quick. You tell me.
SEC.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. All right. Anyways, Florida State. We're finally on the L, bro. We got an L. To the worst of all teams to get an L to as well. The god darn Florida Gators. Chase, thoughts and prayers?
No, I mean, again, I said from the start, the midweek game, it's hard to take too much from it. I would have liked our hitters to do a little bit better. That was a little disappointing. As far as the pitching goes, it's just more disappointing that Evan Crest, who's been really, really good for us as number 4 starter, which is something that is very helpful to have. He left after the first inning with a arm injury. And I've heard mixed kind of reports whether if it's something super serious and he's out for the season, or if it's something that isn't as bad as originally thought and he'll be back in a couple weeks. No one's really said for sure, but that would be a big loss. He's not in the weekend rotation, but having a really good 4 starter is a really big thing to have. So that would suck, but I know, other than that, the bullpen had to come in much earlier than expected. And
Yeah, I didn't get to
given
watch
that-
it. So I just saw the stats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really early. Right?
yeah, because Evan Crest got hurt in the first inning, after the first inning. So they had to come in. I guarantee you, Link is thinking he's getting 5 to 6 out of Crest. And I'm sure the bullpen was thinking that too. So to have to come in the second inning, that kind of throws off. It's one thing when you're planning on a bullpen game. It's another thing when it's necessary because your pitcher stunk or gets hurt. That really kind of throws everything off. So pitching, I'll give a pass for that. Hitting, you got to do better. We can't be out here scoring 2 runs. So
Any word on the injury concern?
I feel like I just talked about that. But
You said you weren't sure, right?
yeah, nothing's been fully reported. Originally, it seemed like they thought he was going to be out for the year, but it seems like it wasn't as bad as originally thought. But it could be into year, it could be not. I mean, Link is notorious for not talking about the length of injuries. We kept thinking Cam Leiter was going to come back last year all fucking season, And not only did he not come back all season, he hasn't come back this year yet. So
So Lincoln gonna say nothing.
Wait, he's
No.
still on the team?
he is still on the team. He is still
we
dressing
still
out with the
have
team.
him?
He is still traveling with the team. But I would be shocked at this point if he throws another pitch for FSU.
Kev's like, I didn't know we still had him.
Well, let's flip it around though. Let's flip it around. We got some good news, right? I mean, they played good against BC, right?
Sweat BC, who has a pretty good offense.
Run ruled
BC
in one
just
game.
Yep. BC just took 2 out of 3
Some would say we
last
pushed their
week.
shit in.
Yeah, we definitely did. They took 2 out of 3
We
last
did
week
what,
against
Chase?
a good Virginia team. Pushed their shit in.
Thank you.
Our 3 starting pitchers gave up 0 earned runs.
Nice.
That'll
Get it.
float right there. Our 3 starting
Is
pitchers.
that your second? That'll float reference, or was that Chris?
That was the first one.
I've not ever said that.
I don't
Regardless, all 3 of our starting pitchers, they're combined 12-0, and all 3 of them have an ERA below 1.
Let's go.
That's absurd. I don't care who you're facing.
Here for it.
I don't care if you're facing a high school team. Having a ERA collectively below 1 is ridiculous. Their
take some of that.
strikeout to walk ratio is absurd. It's we have, in my opinion, the best starting trio in all of college baseball, and I don't
have
think
it.
it's arguable at this
Chase
point.
hot take. There you
Wes
have it.
Mendez and Jamie Arnold are both early day picks. Jamie Arnold is a top 5 pick. Wes Mendez will probably be a first or second round pick. And then Joey Vellini is a very, very good college pitcher. He'll get drafted as well. Probably not as high as those, so he doesn't quite have the elite stuff that they do. But he's just a very good college pitcher who will get drafted. And that's that's absurd. I would like to see a little more out of some of the bullpen arms that I was expecting coming out of this year, but that's just, nitpicking a little bit. I'd love to see John Abraham and Connor
Johnny
Holtz,
Abraham.
who are our best, they were best relief pitchers last year. They're like the only 2 relief pitchers we could rely on last year. And so far this year, neither one has really done well. Connor Holtz has pitched like 2/3 of an inning and given up like 7 runs. So
I
I
ain't
don't
gonna
know
cut
what's
it,
going
Connor.
on there. If we can get them back to how they were pitching last year, this pitching is elite. I mean, our starting pitching's already elite, but yeah.
Well, I saw Jamie Arnold's now officially the number 1 college player according to
he's a
what, the
beast.
Baseball America or some shit.
He's a monster. Our starting pitching's ridiculous. Our hitting is starting to come around a little bit. I would have liked to see us do more against the Gators, but is what it is. Just keep rolling.
see
You're
him
not
again.
going to win
We'll
them
see him
all in
again.
college baseball. That's not going to happen. So
We'll see him again.
Just real quick, I saw this thing and I wanted to share it with everybody. Apparently, there's a Japanese player that went to Shohei Ohtani's high school. Now he plays for Stanford. I thought it was really cool. He hit a freaking bomb in his first game. He broke Shohei Ohtani's home run record at the high school.
oh shit.
So that's pretty. That's a pretty
And he
good.
plays for Stanford now. Okay.
Yeah. So look at him here. This is his first. Look at this freaking bomb, dude.
That's a bomb, all right. You're showing us Jason, right?
Oh, am I?
But whoops,
Oh,
my
shit.
fault.
You could have told me that a little bit earlier than that.
I thought you were doing a bit at first, bro.
I'll be
No,
honest,
no,
I did
no,
too.
no.
I thought you definitely were doing a thing. I was like, okay,
no,
this is
you're
gonna
good,
tie
you're
in. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll put that in post. Just act like
I
it's
would-
cool, guys. Right?
I was like, where's he
That
going
was
with
awesome.
this? We'll
So,
see where he's going
crushed
with
it.
this.
Folks,
hard.
we're trying these new that who we stream on right now is called StreamYard, and where they have these things called scenes now. So trying to be up and coming, but yeah, that didn't work out for that one. So hopefully it works out later on in the regular podcast.
It will.
Love you
It
guys. Love you guys. Thank you for that. Anyways, moving right along. Chris, you want to say your final goodbyes?
I mean, I appreciate what you did. Time to go. He clearly, when he
Jeez, time to go is what? That's your final goodbye?
It is, because the fact that when he didn't know, when he said the quote, "I'm not really good about NIL or comfortable," I'm like, okay, he needs to go. College basketball is changing. Florida State's not going to be a legit contender unless they participate with NIL. Leonard, no clue what he's doing.
No
He
team's
let
going to be a legit contender, honestly.
True, but if your coach is like, well, I don't really know what to do with NIL, it's
Yeah.
So again, he did 23 years. He did a lot.
Or
he
as
brought
Jason
Florida State.
calls it, the nil.
Yeah, the nil, if you will. He took Florida State from a shitty spot. He made him relevant. We had a hell of a run. We'll never know what happened the year he got robbed, but ultimately, I thank you, Coach. I thank you for what you did.
For sure.
There you go. Chase, anything you want to say about the final chapter of Coach Ham and college basketball?
I mean, Chris summed it up pretty well. I mean, it's easy for people to kind of look at how his tenure ended and be like, oh, yeah, I mean, he wasn't that great. But, like, when he took over for Steve Robinson, FSU basketball was in the dumpsters, dude. They were awful.
Hot trash.
They were terrible. Every single year, they were lucky to win, like, 4 ACC games. And he came in, and it didn't happen overnight, but he slowly built this program, and he had 2 separate, like, 4-year stretches that were some of the best basketball stretches for FSU since, I mean, they had a good run in the early 90s and they had a good run in like the 70s. And beyond that, FSU basketball had done nothing until Leonard Hamilton came in and really put this program on the map. I mean, in his time, we were the 3rd or 4th best team in the ACC for a good stretch.
Consistently.
Yes. So
And
it
we
was
had
great.
Like,
I would have
we
loved
had
to see
the
that
hardest
2020
play-
team.
Oh, bro. And we had like for like a 2-3 year stretch, we were like one of the hardest, if not the hardest place to play. We were like 57-3 at home, which is
It's great.
insane to think about what he
So
did.
thank you, Ham.
I have one interaction with Coach Hamilton. It was
I'll
a
never let it
post-game.
go.
I'll never let it go. I'll share this brief story with everybody, and then we'll move on. My friend Bill, his brother Brian, played for FSU, and I was waiting for him after the game on the court as I was told I was allowed to, and Coach Hamilton didn't like that. So he was interviewing his post-game interview, and he was just like, "Get these motherfuckers out of here," you know, like. Yep.
I find it hard to believe that is the language that Coach Hamilton used. I'm
Well,
shocked.
I mean, you don't know.
That's true. I wasn't there. I wasn't
Sounds
there.
like you
was
don't
there.
know either.
I was there.
And you heard him saying motherfucker?
No, I mean, you know,
yeah, maybe.
believe what you want. No, but you know, just a little friendlier interaction might have been nice. But
I met him. He's a very friendly guy.
well, tell me about your interaction.
Well, one time we were going to walk-ons, I think, to watch football for fantasy, and he was there getting his to-go food, and I walked by him. I kind of patted his shoulder. I was like, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?" Shook his hand. He's like, "Good to see you." I was like, "How you think
Good
about
to
the
see
year?"
you is wild when you've never met somebody. By the way,
You know, maybe I was starstruck. I don't know. I was like, "Ooh, it's Coach Hamilton." I was like, "Good to
so
see you,
you
man."
said good to see you, or he said that to you?
I said, "Good to see you."
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes.
And he was like, "Go away. I'm just trying to wait on my to-go food." No, he was very nice, and he was just like, "Good to see you." I was like, "Come to the games." He's like, "Good." It's like, "Appreciate the support." Shook my hand again. Off we went. It was a very pleasant experience.
There you go. All right. Well, okay. There you go. I'm okay with that.
All right, it's time for the Laux era now.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk a little bit about it, and then apparently we're not live on Instagram, so I'm gonna try to see what's going on with that. You guys talk about that though.
He made his first commit or offer to a commit, I believe, today, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Let's see,
about
who was
that. Like, what kind of commit?
I will tell you who these two beat writers I follow for Florida State basketball are just like, I think I'm up to date, and then I'm like, oh, he posted that an hour ago. I'm way behind. Let's see. Jacob Lanier was offered. Was he the first one? No, there's a second one. Artavian Brown. So Artavian Brown and Jacob Lanier are the
And
first
these are
two.
high school recruits.
Correct. Yep.
And what, 3, 4, 5-star? What are we talking?
Hey man, you're throwing a lot at me. Let's see. This guy. This
Don't know.
I was saying. I just saw he was happy to offer some recruits. Let's see.
I mean, I'm
Jacob
not
Lanier has received an offer from Florida State, one of the top point guards in the country. His stock is set to rise on the UA circuit this spring and summer. It does not say what star he is, but
I think for the next year or two, until Laux can show what kind of coach he is or isn't, I'm not expecting great recruiting classes. I'd love to be wrong about that. Maybe with his connections to the NBA, and specifically his connection to is it De'Aaron Fox? Is that who he's close with? I think.
I believe you're correct.
Maybe that can kind of because I think Fox said he's going to start working out in Florida now that Laux, because I guess him and Laux are very close. So maybe that can kind of star power, starstruck, get a couple recruits in there where they're like, oh shit, like De'Aaron Fox goes to FSU and like trains, like that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be something, but
Get some other people to be like, oh, let's go over to Tallahassee, see what's going on over there.
beyond that, I think it's going to be tough to, because we don't have the NIL of the Carolinas, the Kansas,
No.
even the Floridas of the world. So like we really need to show that we're a program that can like develop players, and we're a program that like wants to win in order to like get some of these recruits. And I just think that's going to take a couple of years for him to show.
Which is why I'm glad they gave him 5 years. Like he's going to need
Yes.
a couple of years. It's just not going to be 1 year and he's just going to like flip the script. You need to give him some time to get his shit together, get his people in, and
For sure.
so
I'm
I
going
think-
to be very. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chase.
Oh,
I'm
Kevin
going to be
Seated,
very
come on.
intrigued to see who he goes after in the portal. What kind of player he goes after. In
Yes,
the
me
portal.
too. Some shooters, preferably. Luke, if
That's
you don't
what we're
mind,
going to need to
please.
kind of hang our hat on for at least the first year or two. I know in his press conference, it sounds like he wants to build through recruiting, which I like. I'm cool with that. Clemson does a really good job of that, where they bring in guys and they're not necessarily like NBA players, but they develop them and they become really good college players. I'm cool going that route for sure, but I think for the immediate, for the next year or two, we're really going to have to build through the portal and bring in some recruits, that are going to ride the bench and learn the system.
Gotta do it. We trust you, Luke. Come on.
Shout out to Instagram. We're back live here. Sorry about that, folks. For
We
those
are
late
back.
joining. We appreciate everybody. That's why you should follow us on all our social sites, including YouTube and Twitch, where we go live 7 Minutes in Heaven every week, somewhere around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit earlier. But moving right along, FSU football is closing their practice to the media.
They have it.
I don't know how we feel. Like this is a good thing, this is a bad thing.
I don't hate it because, I mean, last year, what did we hear before practice was all how good this team was, and then, you saw the product.
Except last year, what I will say is one thing that I did keep hearing from FSU beat writers who were observing practice was how, I don't want to say, well, I guess I can't say bad, the receiving game was.
Yeah, they were bad.
Because that's the thing is, like, they would say all the time, like, look, it is really, really hard to determine, like, how good the offensive and defensive lines are going to be because they don't really, like, hit. Like, they're not, like, playing like it's a game in terms of offensive and defensive line. Same with the running game. Like, it's impossible to know how good it is because they don't tackle. But receivers and cornerbacks, that's when you would be like, yeah, these guys can't get open, and on the off chance that they do, they drop the ball. So, like, that is one thing that coming into the year, I heard from, like, 4 different beat writers. They're like, yeah, these receivers, hopefully they get it together because they do not look good. And that did turn out to be accurate. So that is the one thing that, like, we're going to miss is hearing that. But beyond that, I mean, it doesn't really change.
Yeah, I don't
much.
care about it. Just get better. Focus on that.
Yes,
and then
yeah.
I don't need to hear about every day
Yeah.
what happens.
Close the
in
practices
practice.
and win games. I'll take that over open practices and losing games.
And suck.
Yeah.
I know we don't like Bill Belichick really, especially now that he's in the ACC. But I thought it was kind of cool that he removed the numbers off the players and was like, "Hey, we need to work on becoming a team before we actually worry about who's who in this situation." So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Just wanted to bring that up. You
That seems stupid to me.
heard that.
Okay.
Shut up, Chase.
Shut up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch. I mean, I should have hit it. But
Come on,
all right,
man.
we got some. We got a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Sweet.
Way too
No!
loud.
Whoa, dude.
Shit.
Holy hell,
God.
Kevin.
You got to go tap, tap. It's got to go tap, tap.
Didn't it?
I mean, I think
You
we
got
all
to
know
work
what
on
it
No,
is.
don't do it again.
You need to work
We know
on
what it
that.
is, though. Maybe we should just make our own NFL intro. I'm redoing all the 7 minutes. I'm doing all.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
I'm making a note. Redo 7-minute intros. I hate the FSU one, the NFL one. We can't even fucking play. What's the point?
I mean, you're making sense. I can't argue with you. You're actually making sense, Kevin.
So yeah,
Which is weird.
Yeah,
let's
it's
talk
a
a
weird
little
thing
bit
that you do.
NFL free agency updates from last time we spoke. 12
all I
still
remember-
12 still sitting on the bench on the beach. just
He's
There's
vibing.
rumors now that he might just hang it up.
sulking in his worries, And
Doing
I
some
would,
IUS
at this point, I don't know. I don't want to.
Were you going to say you'd bring him back?
No. What?
At this
To the
point,
Packers?
I don't know. I don't know what you were trying to say there.
Like as much talk. I have. There's a guy that I work with who's a Vikings fan, and he's like, "We might bring in Rodgers," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, you hated him like a year ago, 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden you're like, we might bring in
Well, we
Rodgers."
might do
you did
it.
the same shit with Brett
With
Favre. I
Favre.
don't understand. I don't understand these Vikings fans who hate Packer players, and then all of a sudden Greg Jennings comes in, and you're like, "Oh, we got Greg Jennings." It's like, bitch, make up your mind. Do you hate us or do you love us?
That's
Because
everyone, dude. Come
you're
on.
just poaching our best players.
That's fucking everyone.
But yeah. Anyways, who else got moved around? I will say, can we talk about the Jamar Chase and
I
T.
say,
Higgins?
Bengals
Holy
receivers got
mother
fucking
Between them
paid.
two and Joe Burrow, are they going to have any money?
Nope. That's it. They spent it all on the three of them.
Ridiculous.
Can they
Bro.
pay anyone else?
I
mean,
don't think
so-
so.
They're the highest paid wide receiver duo in NFL history, right? Am I wrong on that?
Yes, because T. Higgins is the highest paid number 2 receiver in the NFL.
Ever.
Ever. And Jamar Chase is the highest paid receiver, period, in NFL
Right.
history. So, yes, they are
Non-quarterback.
absolutely the highest paid duo, probably by far. It's probably not
close.
even close.
And then they're also paying a shit ton to
Burrow.
fucking Burrow. So
Yeah.
Well, they got
I mean, they don't
offense.
have any money left. I don't know who else they can sign.
the memes are on fire right now. It's like, oh, they're going to be winning, or they're going to be walking off the field against Baltimore 97-96 losing, It's like,
They'll score a shitload, but they're not
Well,
stopping
are they even
anybody.
going to score a shitload if they can't protect Burrow or run the ball?
valid. That's valid.
Chase brings us.
I mean, you can have the best receiving core in the NFL, but I mean, unless you're running screens every play, he needs some time to throw the ball.
I'm not going to talk shit. Joe Mixon pushed our shit in.
Well, Joe Mixon isn't on the team anymore, so
Is he not?
no,
Or
he left last year.
Oh, that's right.
He was on the Texans, yeah.
That's who I was thinking. When we played the Texans, he pushed our shit in.
Yep. No, he's a good player, but he is not on the team anymore. So, and their
Who is their
offensive
running
line
back?
has been notoriously bad. Chase Edmonds wasn't it Chase Edmonds and someone else?
Ugh.
Yuck.
Who was their running backs?
That's a good question. Jamie, pull it up.
Damn, who are the running backs?
Wrong show.
Oh, crap.
But yeah. Man,
Yeah,
look.
it sucks because it sucks for them because they have these elite players, and you don't want to lose them. You want to be able to sign these elite players, but then you sign them and but now I can't afford literally anybody else.
Facts.
So they're Chase Brown. That's who I was thinking of. Chase Brown was their starting running back last year. Rushed for 990 yards.
Also, Texans, who is it? Singletary? Their cornerback, what's his name?
Oh yeah. No, it's Sting.
Stings? Brian Samsonite. That's
Slappy. Oh, that's
Yes,
way off.
getting paid. What did we say it was? $30
$30
million.
million.
Man. That's Devin. It's Devin Stingle. Why can I not think of his fucking name? Anyways, yeah. It's hard for me to understand. I get it. You want a good cornerback who can shut down the other team's number 1 receiver, but my whole thing with cornerback, it's tough to pay that position for me so much money because you can scheme around that kind of thing. A lot of times those cornerbacks don't go into the slot, or they only like to play on one side.
Derek
Stingley, yeah. So
3
I don't know.
years, $90 million.
Woo!
3 years.
My man is, God damn.
I don't know if he's a guy that follows the number 1 receiver or not, but unless he is, and unless he also creates some turnovers, I just can't. I don't know how you can justify that, man. If he stays on one side of the field, you can easily scheme around that, and now it's just $30 million for him to cover the other team's number 2 or number 3 receiver every year, and that just seems.
I
like a
will say,
waste.
I like paying people like this early. He's 23 years old. The 23-year-old logged 5 interceptions for the second straight years.
That's a lot of picks in
18
today's
pass,
NFL.
18 passes defense, ranked second in the NFL. the same as his 84.4 PFF coverage ranking among corners. What did it say? Limited opponents to 42 receptions on 90 targets. Good for 46.7 completion percentage. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty
I
good.
mean, he sounds like
Pretty
an
good.
30
elite
million?
corner.
30
So-
million?
I mean, I guess it depends on like what is the average cornerback get.
Damn, bro. Their second cornerback is 22. Their safety's 25. Their other safety's 21. I mean,
Jesus. And their defense was good last year.
yeah, that's pretty good. Hey, shout out to the Texans. You finally made a good move in the offseason.
Chris loves you.
Hate him. Don't ever shout the Texans out.
Unshouted out.
They did trade
so much.
ex-Dolphin great Laramie Tunsil.
They did. Player suspensions.
This is
Question
another
mark?
one that I had a picture for, but I forgot to share this one. But so of all the since 2020, the thing is total player suspensions in games since 2020. Which team do you think has the most suspensions?
In the NFL,
Yeah,
total games.
it
Since
says
when?
total
Since what year?
player suspensions in games since 2020.
And so is it the number of players that have been suspended or the number of games they've been
Good
suspended
question,
for?
Chase. Good
I'm gonna go
question.
games because this just has
Games,
logos and
I'd
numbers.
I'd say Browns because they've had multiple guys get suspended for like a long time.
year.
I'll tell you, it's not the Browns.
Really? Because I was thinking of,
They're number 10 on the list.
oh wow, I was thinking Miles Garrett and the football,
yeah, when he beat
and
the
also
crap out of that
Josh
dude.
Gordon getting suspended for weed like 3 times.
That
That's
was
crazy.
like 2020. How long ago was that? I feel like it was so
Oh.
long ago.
I mean, but what year is this?
2020
Since
and on,
2020.
you said.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So
Then
the past
maybe that
5
was
years.
Older. Okay.
No, I think it's right at that cutoff range, to be honest. But anyways,
Do you have a
I'm gonna
guess,
go-
Kevin, of what
Yeah,
team?
I got a guess.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Who else it could be?
Well, here's a guess. I got one. It's just on the tip of my tongue. I have
You got
exactly
31
who it is.
other options.
Is
Since 2020.
the Raiders.
The Raiders. They're
They're
way down.
Just fuck it.
they're way down. They only have 13.
If you got to double check the list, that's not a good thing.
They're 13 and they're ranked 21.
Damn, I'm just thinking of old Raiders.
Yeah,
So,
that's definitely what it is.
The Jags are number 7 with 28. The Dolphins
kind of
are
franchise are you
tied
running?
for 10 with 24. The Packers are tied for 18th at 15.
That's right.
The number 1 with 60 total player suspensions in games since 2020, the Detroit Lions.
What was their
that-
big? Oh, they had Jamison Williams, right?
Yeah,
he
they did.
got suspended
Yep.
for the whole season.
Number 2 was the Colts with 54. Number 3, the Chiefs with 40, which, I mean, their receivers are getting in trouble every other week, so that's
True. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
Number 4, San Francisco with 38. Number 5, the Saints at 37.
That's pretty cool though. Lions suck it. You lose.
That's pretty cool. Fuck you, Detroit.
They lose at everything, like championship games.
The smile on Kevin's face is like,
life.
sucks.
Just when you think you're good, you're getting arrested.
Here's another one. One team had 0. What team do you think that was?
Ooh,
had
that's a
0.
Nice follow up, Chris.
One
Nice
team had
follow
0.
up.
Take a guess. Who do you think 0?
Which one had 0?
Since 2020,
Somebody that,
0
like-
player suspensions.
I mean, to get a dog, they got to be a little bit of a fucking turd too, right? So, damn, what NFL team had 0 interceptions? Or excuse me,
Suspensions.
zero arrests.
I was waiting for you to correct
suspensions.
it. Total 0 total player
For me, it
suspensions
feels like it's a West Coast team for some
since
reason.
2020.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna
it's gotta be
say-
one of those West Coast teams.
I like where your head's at, Chase.
Seattle.
Ooh, not bad. I'm gonna go. Damn, I'm just trying to think of it. It's not a team that nobody gives a shit about. It's a good one too.
It's actually really good. Fucking
I'll go
Cardinals.
Chargers.
All right, so it is not Seattle. Seattle's tied for 20. They have 14. The Chargers are close. They're tied they're 28. They had 5. The defending champions, the Eagles, had 0 player
Oh,
suspension.
How is that
Of course.
possible? Don't they have the guys that like got in a ton of trouble in college for like street racing and shit?
They have 0
That's
player
crazy.
suspensions in
That's
the past
crazy.
5 years.
Got
That's
thrown out.
wild.
The Bengals and Bears each had 3, and the Jets had 4. Those were the bottom 4.
See, the Bengals is also weird to hear since, like, for years they had like Vontez Burfict, who was like known as like one of the dirtiest players in the NFL, constantly getting suspended. So for them to be low is also pretty crazy. But they also
I just
don't
realized
have any
we got some
defense.
action going on Instagram. My wife wants to know why Chris is wearing glasses, but they're off now.
Well, I
so.
took them off. Sometimes you got to pop them on. You don't know. It just happens.
And of course, our boy Michael, Jose's husband, says, "Go Birds." Oh, kid.
He's allegedly
lifelong
locked
Birds
in now.
fans.
Yeah,
Lifelong
he's,
Birds
fan.
he's locked in apparently.
Yeah, he's been locked in for years.
Years
and
and
years.
years.
Years and years.
For sure.
Definitely not just the year that they won the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, he went to the parade. You know,
Oh,
so
shout out.
Just have to walk outside.
valid.
It's a good point. It's actually a damn great point, Chase. He just, oh, hey, there it is.
I mean,
found
it sounds pretty easy to go to the parade. You open your window. There it is.
Can't relate.
I want to
Don't
go
know what
to
that's
a parade.
like.
I know, right? I want to go to a parade
What is that like?
for my real team. Carson Beck's an
Bring it in.
idiot.
Yep.
Did you? No, that's it. You didn't see it. So
That's it.
apparently, no. He apparently, because he like transferred to Miami because his girlfriend, one of the cadaver twins.
Cadaver. I believe that's a dead body.
I said it and I'm like, that's wrong. Let's try that. Cavender,
No.
I believe, is what I was.
no, I think
looking
you had it
for.
right the first
Yeah,
time. I
let's
think
stick
you
with
got it
cadaver.
Cadaver.
One of those
Cavender.
cadavers. Yeah.
One of the cadaver
Beautiful young
twins.
ladies shouldn't be at Miami.
Yeah.
for the
Well, that's why he transferred down there because they're there. And then allegedly the rumors were like, oh, they've broken up because she apparently just wiped him off Instagram. Because this man was, I guess he went to Nashville, Smashville. He partied hard. Apparently,
I mean, nothing good happens in Smashville.
was apparent. Well, then somebody said he was messaging people or someone he met
Mm-hmm.
in Nashville. Well, then apparently someone said he met a Latina girl in Miami and apparently might have had a
Shit
little
happens.
fling. Yeah, so
He's also
The
ugly as shit for the record.
he is. But now,
He's
do you
just
think
a
he's
weird
gonna?
looking dude.
But now, will he
Dude.
stay in Miami or is he gonna go somewhere else?
Oh, come on. They got him
He's
locked in
staying
with
in
all that
Miami.
money. Yeah.
he's. I like how you're like he went to Miami for the cadaver.
Well, I mean,
twin, but
for the
but
cadaver
I'm sure
twin, but
I'm
also
sure the like supposed like
the
$5
$3 million or
million
whatever he
got. Yeah,
also
exactly.
played a part.
Let's see how much.
I love how people are like, Hannah Cavender hit the free agency today. The other,
I also thought about
the other
what-
headline says that Carson Beck outkicked his coverage and now lost.
Yeah.
It said he made close to $4 million.
Weren't they also both like seniors this year? So they're not even going to be at Miami next year. So like I don't get that either.
I mean,
Unless
they're
I'm
on
wrong.
to bigger things,
I mean, you could be right. I don't know.
Maybe they just want to chill in Miami, I guess.
I mean, they're TikTok famous, so they don't got to do shit. Except
No, but I'm
make-
saying if he went there,
dancing
if he
videos,
went
you
to Miami to be with them, I'm pretty sure they're not even going to be at the school, but I'm sure they'll still be in Miami.
Yeah, they'll probably be.
How much do you think they're worth?
How many followers do they have?
Cavender twins net worth.
They're going to have millions of followers. So
It's probably like 3 or 4 million, something
yeah,
like
that
that.
sounds
Damn,
right.
Chris, 4 million. Shout out, Chris.
That's
Not bad.
damn.
NIL
yeah,
deals, by the way. We're not even
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
of course.
That's
And
just
so-
an IL.
Oh,
deals.
no, it says social media presence.
I was
as
like,
well.
that's
I'll say,
crazy
yeah.
for college
was-
women's basketball.
They got the endorsement deals with Bucked Up and Dr. Pepper. And better.
Hey,
better.
tough go.
Yeah, there you go.
Carson's car gets stolen. Now his girl breaks up with him. Like, tough times, Carson.
Wait a minute, Chris. Here we go. That says
Mm-hmm.
the twins were linked to WWE with potential deals.
Why do you say that to me? I'm not
Because you love
actively
WWE.
They're coming in.
for
You're
sure.
a big
Not.
fan. You're a big fan.
They
Yeah.
also started a podcast, so go check them out on their podcast.
What was that? now?
on their what page?
What
On their
now?
only. I mean,
On their only podcast that they have.
Only podcast. That's what I said. That's
It's
what I
called
said.
the only podcast with the Cavender twins.
What was what
Carson Beck,
twins?
ugly as yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, which twins, Chris?
Cavender. I corrected myself.
Yeah, he is a weird looking dude.
That dude ugly as sin.
He needs to be very happy that he's good at football.
I'd love to pull up a picture here for you, but I'm scared we're gonna pull up Jason's face again.
Please,
We're gonna be
please
like,
do it.
Don't.
we're like,
Please
Kevin's
do
doing
it.
it. He's
Look at
doing
this. Look at this ugly guy right here.
I'd be like, Kevin's doing the thing again. He's doing a bit. We'll get there. Maybe.
Oh,
No,
yeah, we
now
gotta
I
figure
know it's not a bit. So
it. Yeah.
No, he actually just fucked up with that one.
What else we got?
I think all I had was Ted Lasso's coming back.
Shout out Ted Lasso. Who's excited?
Yeah!
I'm excited.
Thank you for that, Chris. Screaming
I don't
into
feel a lot
my
of-
face.
welcome.
Season 3 wasn't my favorite season, but
It's accurate.
I still liked it, still enjoyed it. So I would enjoy season 4 as well.
He's supposed to be coaching a women's team, from what I understand.
Is
That
that
you're
what
correct.
it is? Oh,
Yep.
Leaked on the
interesting.
podcast. What is that podcast? The
Leaked. Oh, New
the,
Heights.
Kelsey.
With the Kelsey
Yeah.
brothers. New Heights. Yeah.
Thank you. I've listened to the podcast. I can't think of the name of the people on the podcast or the name of the podcast. I actually listen to it weekly.
It's like I'm a regular listener.
It is a great podcast.
Jason Kelsey is a gift from the gods. I love that man. He's hilarious, and I know Jose likes him too. Jose, you want to comment on?
Just delicious. Just
There you
a
go.
Just
beautiful,
That's
delicious.
perfect timing.
beautiful sex.
Magically.
Jose usually skips 7 minutes in heaven, so he's back.
He thought he was hopping on it.
He's like,
after it
"Oh,
was
you guys
over.
are
He
still going."
regretted hopping on instantly.
Someone said Jason Kelsey, and I was like, all right,
His ears
Add
were
me.
burning.
Add me. Add me the lobby.
my
now.
nipples started to feel funny, and so I was like, I guess I'll
He's
get
like,
on.
I could. Is Jason Kelsey?
Also, Carson Beck is ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ugly as
has
sin.
been.
Can you show us
mean-
that
Sure.
picture, Kev? If you'll just pull that
Yeah,
up.
let me just pull that up for you.
That's an ugly
I
man.
got you. I got you. Here it comes right now.
There's this one picture of him that is just like douche magoo. He's like about to throw the ball, and he's like,
Is this Jason?
it's that one right there.
It's
There
not
it is.
Jason, I promise. It's
That
not
is-
Jason.
Is that
Look at this
Jason?
kid.
Jason?
Wait
No.
a second.
No, Kevin,
Oh,
you just pulled up a picture of
Kevin's
Jason.
like, what the
Carson
fuck?
Beck. Carson Beck.
Oh, okay. All right. Heard that.
Typed in
Yeah,
the
that's
wrong
good.
search again. You typed in the wrong search again.
All right. Well, you know.
Jay's
I
ugly.
got nothing else for you guys. Make sure that anything else for you boys.
Now, one last thing.
Here we go.
March Madness is here, and yet it's weird. I see none of you. We were sitting here Monday night. None of you've made a bracket.
When you say
yet.
here,
It starts-
I'm a
Chris,
third
have
of the
you
way through my
sent
bracket.
us
I take my
anything?
time.
Yes.
I
Don't
like to
you dare
analyze the
ask. Have I
matchups.
sent
Where's the
you
link?
anything? It's
Where?
in the group chat. It's everywhere.
Which one?
It's on
We were in like 15 of them.
We are in a lot of group chats.
To you guys personally, it's on the Facebook with them, as my series says, them Florida boys.
yeah.
That's-
what-
That's where it says, anytime I'm running and I get a boom message from Mike Longan, the Florida boys send a GIF. I'm like, can I mute
Send a
this?
what?
A GIF.
Can I
she
mute
says.
this? Wow.
like, why can't we tell it how to say things? You know,
A GIF.
in a world.
Yeah, it's there.
I'm about a
Go
third
get
of the way through.
No, it's not.
See?
I'll finish.
It is it is definitely there.
Chris,
I'll
when's
send
the
it
first
again.
game start?
Thursday.
The brackets lock Thursday at 12 o'clock. The first four is technically tomorrow, but I mean, if
Remind
you care
me
about the
Thursday
first four
morning.
games,
Right.
that's fair.
Yeah, Chris, just fucking remind me Thursday
Isn't the
morning.
first
I'm
Just
game
gonna
at
fuck
what,
it,
like
man.
10
It's
a.m.
not
on
there.
Thursday?
9 a.m.
So
I think like 12:15 on Thursday is the first game.
All right.
All right. I
Wednesday,
expect by
7:45
12.
p.m.
I will call each of you, be like, hey, don't forget your bracket.
You guys don't call me. I'm the only one that calls. People
I will-
and FaceTime people.
I will
'Cause you're a
call
psycho.
all of
Nobody
you.
likes calling people.
I will call you all Wednesday night. Be like, make
You
your
don't just
brackets.
cold call somebody. What are you, fucking animal?
cold. It's not cold calling. You're my friends.
Hey, this
No,
is
he
Kevin
picks up,
here.
he's like, "What's wrong? Are you okay? Are you,
You
dying?"
always have to like send like a hey, are you free text so you don't like incite a panic attack. And
What is this, work?
Bro,
Hey, are you busy? I'm gonna call you real quick.
you grew up in the 90s, bro. This is the way we used to communicate. Okay?
Fuck that.
No,
Don't
we used to
fucking ever call
communicate
me
through
unless you're
AOL,
dying.
Instant Messenger. That's how
Jose,
we
I'll
used to
text-
I'll take
communicate.
it if it's a
I'll
good-
text Jose Wednesday
Typically-
night. Are you free? Can I call you?
Yes.
Hey, make your
you do
bracket.
that. Chris.
I will do that.
All right. Don't just fucking call me.
Yeah,
I will
I'll text
stare
you.
at
Are
it.
you
Don't
free?
you dare fucking call me.
He's not answering. I know he's
Are you
looking.
gonna call me on my landline next?
Chris,
a
give
throwback.
give a breakdown of the user or the team or the fucking bracket name and the passwords.
What is it?
And
Words
There's
are
no
hard.
password. It is so simple. It is CTC 2025. Go to ESPN.
All one
go
word?
To, all one word, no space. Go to Tournament Challenge. You can search CTC 2025. There it is. It couldn't be any
Just send
simpler.
me a link, bro. Can you?
I already have sent you. I'll be happy to
But
send you
we're
another
talking
link.
to we're talking to the listeners now.
Can you send them a link?
Sure. It's
Can
on.
you send them a link?
Folks, we'll leave a link in the bio here. We'll
you
leave a
go.
link to the episode
Thank
description.
you.
How about that? Yeah.
That's
But
really
anyways,
confident.
speaking of link, I need you, if you're listening on Spotify, I mean, like I said, I did a deep dive on Spotify. We only have so many followers on Spotify. If you're not following us right now, please just hit the little heart button and follow us. And also, remember, you're leaving a comment on which of those quarterbacks you think is the most overrated. Please leave that comment. Also, for those of you on YouTube as well, and Twitch, we're live every Monday. We're live around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give or take 26.8 minutes. So
Very specific.
Thank you for the 0.8.
you're welcome. But yeah, follow us on all social sites, Cup to Cup Show. You can find us on all those, everything except for Twitch is Cup to Cup. So go join us there. Our Facebook group is the CTC OnlyFans. Is everybody writing this down? The CTC OnlyFans. And then our website, cup2cuplife.com. Hopefully it doesn't get too confusing at this juncture.
Lipscomb, picking them.
That boy. See, I love it. He's already locked in. He's making his picks.
He's like, lips come. Yep. There
They're
it
in
is.
Nashville.
There
They're in
it is.
fucking
Got my
Smashville,
attention.
fucker.
Lips come. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Holla.
Lipscomb.